Ooh, what's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
And this is Avatar, The Last Airbender, Season 1, Episode 2.
Hell yeah.
Warriors.
Oh.
I think we're going to meet the Kyoshi Warriors.
That would make sense, yeah.
I think we're going to see some cool makeup. Are you ready for this?
I'm actually very excited. I hope it looks
Sokka
good.
in drag.
My favorite. Truly my favorite.
I like watching Sokka get beat up in drag. If you want the flick reaction, go to patreon.com/nerdynightly. But if you don't, stay here, because you're already here. And this video, well, it's just beginning. You've already seen the worst part of it, which is when I try and be funny at the top.
What do you want me to do? Dress in drag and do the hula?
But it's clear that this avatar is not what you nor anyone else would have expected.
Fair?
Yeah.
How many places can there be for an avatar to hide?
Dope. Good thing you didn't rip the map.
Avatar Kyoshi was the fiercest of warriors and a master of what they called the Avatar state.
I think that scene did a really good job showing Zuko how much he cares.
Yeah.
I felt it,
Yeah.
Zuko's
got it rough.
So far, I think my favorite part of the show.
Really? Okay.
Before I met him, I couldn't bend enough water to fill a thimble. And now look what I can do. And that's after a single day.
That is pretty crazy.
I pulled the whole ocean up.
Bread.
The sky used to be filled with them.
Aang kind of takes off like Iron Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It contains everything you need to know to begin your bending education.
Damn, Gran rolled a fucking high sleight of hand on that one.
Yeah.
You are a waterbender. That is who you have always been, and always will be.
Fine, we'll go to Kyoshi Island and see how it goes.
And meet the love of my life.
And I wasn't there for you. Goodbye, Gyatso. I'm sorry.
Wow. I'm digging episode 2 so far.
Yeah.
This is a strong start.
That's pretty
kind of
good.
all the way around.
You want to join us, Momo?
Momo?
Yeah. He looks like a Momo, doesn't he? Just like how you look like a Sokka?
Like, what does that mean?
God, those eyes are impressive.
Yeah. Also,
Momo looks great.
The fact that Appa's fur moved the same as the fur that they're wearing, that is well done.
Quail pole egg. Very good for...
Vitality?
Vitality! But most importantly, you need to have sticky rice.
I can relate.
I really like his scar. The
Yeah.
texture in it is... The makeup team did I think that it's not as big as I thought it was going to be, but...
Oh, really? Okay.
Every time it's shot close, it really has some gorgeous texturing to it. I think they did a great job.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh.
There she is.
Sokka, should you just go in there?
Probably not.
Sokka!
What? What's happening?
Watch out!
Hey!
Ridiculous. There would have been signs if he was the Avatar.
That's okay.
That was great.
Yeah.
I think that might be a sign.
Wow, the makeup is gorgeous.
Yeah.
What harm is there in letting him look through some books?
It's not about them.
It's about who else may come, I know.
They're already there.
To know that there are many in this world who would take advantage of that kind heart.
I'm not too young. I just haven't seen the world.
There's like 60 people in the room right now who are like, what are they talking
Yeah.
about?
So we will open our village to our guests for 48 hours. I trust that you will respect the limits of our generosity.
The clock starts now.
So, how are you protecting your people if you're here?
I may not physically be there, but still. That is, I have to save the world first. Sorry, how does it go again? I'm protecting Aang, so I'm protecting the village? Or...
I was a good fit.
That is why I'm not just a warrior. I'm a Kyoshi warrior.
Cool. The Fire Nation killed everyone in my village, and my dad left me in charge of the town when I was 13, so... Same, girl.
I had no one to teach me.
He's weirdly not being very dismissive. I don't know. I'm curious where this is going.
If you wouldn't mind giving me until the morning, I'm sure we can track down what you need.
Very kind. Commander
Zhao.
I am a baby.
Someone needs to put a bell on you.
Wow, he's so awkward.
To be fair, if I was like in the middle of bathing and someone was standing there watching me, I'd be like, what? Do you want to come in? Like...
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll do this together. We're not going anywhere.
Literally. I'll be with you forever.
You could just let me use you for target practice.
Nah, fuck bending.
Fuck bending.
Just gonna use my hands.
I mean, it's the same effect. Like... God damn.
Just try that gun drumstick.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
I have no idea what that was supposed to be.
I think he said, just try that again, drumstick. Sokka, swallow.
That's his real power. Connection. Building bridges. That's how he's gonna be the
That's
Avatar.
great. That was in the trailer.
There's a reason we've avoided that all these years.
Avoided. We've avoided a lot of things by living the way we do.
Suki is so thirsty.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Has she never seen a boy her age before?
One who tried to poorly relate to her?
Oh! Seriously?
Suki?
Made it myself.
He made that?
I guess.
Yeah, hunting.
Alright, Sokka.
Wow.
How the fuck did that work?
Southern Water Tribe warriors are known more for our hand-to-hand fighting anyway.
Is she Lae'zel? Is she like, let me beat the shit out of you? So
I
that-
don't know, but I love her so much.
I love.
What the fuck is happening?
That was weird.
That was the end of that scene was very strange.
Yeah.
But I liked everything. Like most of that scene was great.
How'd she go from this to that?
Sick.
Not to develop my powers, but to keep them under control. I'm sorry.
Jeez.
What if nothing in here can help me? What if I never learn how to control my power? How many people will I hurt?
It's fucking heavy for a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Xiao's boat. It's gone.
Xiao? He heard something about a flying cow near Kyoshi Island, so he set sail at dawn.
What the fuck is that?
That was the guy with the food earlier. I don't know.
Stop!
They just need to fuck and get it over with. Jesus Christ.
Huh! Oh!
Well, they really took out Sokka's sexism.
Yeah.
Not only is he not sexist, he is
He's
like
very
very willing
into
to learn
this.
from a woman.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. They're like, gotta go fast.
Netflix was like, Netflix viewers like sexual tension. Have these teenagers breathe heavily on each other, as close to each other as possible.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, honestly. The end of that one scene was a little weird, but so far, like, the Sokka stuff kind of works for me.
Yeah, it's more like...
It's very high school romancy, and I get it, right?
Oh, for sure. It feels appropriate. It's more like, are they going to give Sokka any growth in this season?
I don't know what he grows from. He's just kind of like a good dude doing the right thing.
That's what I mean.
It's about time.
I didn't know how to reach you. I didn't know I could reach you.
She looks great.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm getting the hang of it. Thanks, you're a great teacher. To be honest, where I'm from, there's not much call for a real warrior.
Oh.
I think you're a real warrior.
Wow, she took off all that makeup and then reapplied eyeliner on her waterline.
Yeah, that was impressive.
It's the will and desire. The heart. The bell.
You hear it too?
We have to go.
That was a good line.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Aang.
Oh, no.
Yep. It's bad.
Aang, you need to come back now.
You gotta just smack him across the face. So he's like, oh, why did I take my makeup off?
I know.
You and your men are the only outsiders here.
An unfortunate perspective. You won't mind if we take a look ourselves.
I expected as much.
Where did they hide Sokka?
Yeah.
Oh! We're not even gonna try stealth.
she
We're
was
just
like,
going straight
"Fuck
for
it."
combat. Could she move with a little bit more?
Anything?
Yeah.
That was so weird.
Being the Avatar means putting your duties above all else, even your life.
It was kind of an accident.
It's why I don't like that change.
Yeah.
You asked me what it means to be the Avatar. It means being a warrior.
I guess it also means seeing the future. Damn. Mama can fight.
Yeah. Sokka now can as well.
Hey, Suki is a really good teacher. There he goes.
Nice.
Come on, Katara. Jesus.
Impossible.
Oh, you're so fucked now. Kyoshi's just showing off.
Yeah.
Pull back.
Yeah.
Yeah, get out of there.
Boys, it's over. We're getting out of here.
I'm okay.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sokka,
For what?
for bringing the world to me.
It's a pretty good line.
Yeah.
Did he ever get his boomerang back from the woods? Because he did just leave it there when he awkwardly left her.
That's true. I'm sure he went back when she was gone.
When she was not there.
We need to get to the Northern Water Tribe because something terrible is going to happen there. Something only I can stop.
We just have to circumnavigate the whole globe. It's fine.
Of course, Commander.
Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone.
I don't know why that was so funny.
With your highness taking the lead in all matters. An excellent suggestion, Commander. We would be honored to have your partnership.
God, thank God for Iroh. Zuko is just
hopeless.
I know. It's because he's hot-headed.
Well, he's also been, like, isolated for 3 years, which I feel like, you know, he's like 17.
Great
that
flame
age
of the
was
world.
the most...
Immediately.
Yeah. That age was, like, the most formative for your, like, communication skills, so... Daddy!
Yeah,
The
there he is.
Avatar has returned.
That was great. Great shot.
Nice. I would definitely be a firebender because you know that they're never cold. With those big fires all the time. Sounds great.
You know what? Yeah. Yas, queen. Yas. All right. That was episode 2, Warriors. Clarus. Clarus.
Yes, that's me.
How you feeling now that we've seen 2 episodes?
This show is so interesting. Because there's things about it that I enjoy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the overall opposition of the incredibly dark moments with the kind of cheesy kiddish dialogue are really butting up against each other for me. And I think that some people that's not gonna matter. For some people, it is really going to matter. And for me, it just makes me feel like the world isn't real or grounded.
Yes. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that episode. I think it's so much fun. It is also so much less emotionally complex than the animated show was at the same point.
Yeah.
And it is so fascinating to watch them take the Kyoshi Island story and turn it into a fairly typical Netflix episode of TV.
Sure.
That is cute, and then have like a shot of like Katara's mom's
her mother
being burned alive. It's so fascinating that like the present day is. The episode was good. I actually think this was much better than the first episode.
I agree with that.
I think that this. I don't want to say the stakes because I actually think this part of the problem for me right now is that the stakes are very odd.
Yeah.
But the moment to moment realism of what the characters' goals are was very clear in this episode, and the way that they approached those goals was fascinating. The setup for those goals was rather strange to me, and like Suki being so enamored with Sokka so fast was like.
Yeah, the first person.
Like
she's
interesting.
It is,
and I get it. It's like it's the first person from outside her village. Like I understand all of that.
Yeah, but it was immediate.
But here's my thing: is that I don't. Suki is very important later on.
Yeah.
She comes back. She's going to be important. Right now, it's more important to do storytelling about our main character's growth.
Yeah.
And I do agree with you in that Sokka, while I like this version of Sokka, I like this version of Sokka because he's already just kind of done.
Yeah.
As a character.
Yeah.
It's the same problem I have with Will in Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Where Will at the beginning of Baldur's Gate 3, and this isn't a spoiler because this is the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Is already decided to just be a good guy.
Yeah.
And like, while Sokka does have some insecurities around the fact that he maybe isn't the greatest warrior, they are earned because he can't have been. Right?
Yeah. Circumstances did not allow for that.
And so I don't know, like, other than Sokka getting better at skills, I don't need this version of Sokka to become a better person. He seems great.
Yeah.
He's very concerned about his village. He's like, oh, I can't go on this journey with the Avatar. Our village is undefended.
Yeah, which I
And that's not wrong, right?
Yeah.
Like, while the Avatar mission is important, he is also correct in being concerned about the people that he loves. You know what I mean? Like, there's just, he almost has no edges to him.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating because I think the performance is good.
Yeah.
He is an attractive person. He delivers his lines well. Like, but this version of Sokka just isn't rough in any way.
No.
He's just nice and thoughtful and like kind of charming and plays
maybe
romantic tension well. Like he's just a little too.
He might
formed.
be. He's like maybe a little bit hapless in certain social situations, and that's it. Like that.
Not really. He got the girl in one day.
Sure. Even though that conversation was incredibly. I just mean like he's. I don't know. He doesn't have that 20 charisma where he knows what to say, how to smooth over awkward moments and situations.
But most people don't.
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
but that's what I'm saying. In a character who like is very flawed in the anime, like he doesn't have any of that, and so he's pretty cool, but he's definitely less interesting, and I don't really know what his story is going to do.
Yeah, it is really like because when they were like, oh, we're gonna make Sokka less sexist for this, I was like, oh, okay. What are you gonna do with him instead?
Yeah.
And what they've done with him instead is just kind of make him a charming leading man.
Yeah. Who's also like maybe a bit of a goof. You know, he does get the comedic
He's
lines.
not even that goofy though. Like he's not goofy. He is funny, but he is legitimately funny.
Yeah.
And it's never really at anyone's expense. Like part of the one of the things Sokka had to grow out of in the animated show is that sometimes his comedy wasn't like cruel in the sense that he was a bully, but was a little bit cruel in that he was diminishing someone for it to exist.
Sure.
This version of Sokka doesn't even really do that. Like his jokes are just generally funny.
Yeah.
Like when Aang crashes into the statue and he's like, well, there goes the savior of the world. That's hardly mean.
Yeah.
It's like a funny thing that if my friend said that after I ran into a wall, I would be like, you know what, that's a good joke.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like he's just kind of normal. And the problem for me right now is that while he's great, Aang is so focused. And like we got the one scene of him playing with the kids, which was good.
Sure.
But Aang is like I have to do the plot.
Aang is season 3 Aang.
Aang is like, but second half season 3.
That's what I mean.
Second half of season 2 Aang.
Aang
really.
is at like end of his arc. Yeah. I must become the Avatar immediately.
And Katara is nowhere to be found.
No.
In this character. Like, Katara she's so kind of, and I don't know where the problem is with her, but for me, the biggest issue for Katara is she's just kind of there to support either Sokka and Aang in every scene she's in.
But she's kind of a fucking wet noodle.
But that's what I mean.
She doesn't speak up for herself. Like, she doesn't
not at all.
say anything.
She's not angry ever. Yeah,
no, she doesn't. Like, she has no fire in her. She has no, like, strength of will, even.
Yeah.
She's just present. Even when she went to go fight Zuko, she's like...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she is not the same person.
There's
and maybe she
no confidence in her. She kind of has a little bit at the beginning of this episode with Sokka, but that is about like that scene is about Sokka, and then with Aang, that scene is about Aang, and I'm just kind of missing any of these scenes really being about Katara.
But also in that scene, when she is not delivering her own lines, she is not looking Sokka in the eye.
Oh, interesting. I didn't catch up with that.
She's doing this a lot, which is just not the Katara that I know from the animated show. Mm-hmm. If they are trying to start somewhere and get there, I will understand, but like she just doesn't. She's not the same character.
She's the toughest one for me right now.
Yeah,
because I really like Zuko. I think actually like Zuko is fascinating. Mm-hmm. I don't want to make any assumptions about the actor.
Okay.
He moves his head sometimes in a way that is sassy in a very how do you say LGBTQ
How
way?
do you say queer?
How do you say like I'm like, oh, of course.
He feels like
of course Zuko doesn't end up with Katara.
Yeah.
Zuko's gay. Like Zuko is of the tribe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love that about him.
Yeah.
It actually is really working for me.
Yeah.
He is sassy and like but him and Iroh, they're timing together in all of these scenes. All of the Fire Nation stuff in the show really works for me so far.
The exasperation from the anime for their relationship is very present in this. And I'm digging it.
So like it's an interesting show in that the Fire Nation stuff really works for me. Mm-hmm. Sokka is working for me because I'm enjoying watching it, but it's also like a very much less interesting version of Sokka.
Yeah.
But it's being played really well, so it works. You know what I mean? Like the material that the actors were given, I think that they are adept at, and the actor playing Sokka is funny enough. Like his comedic delivery is strong enough that those scenes are working. Yeah. And Suki was awesome. Other than like maybe me not really knowing why they did it this way, the actress playing Suki just ate that whole fucking roll up. She is so gorgeous.
Yeah.
Makeup on or makeup off. Like,
yeah.
How she got the makeup off but left the eyeliner on, don't know. Very questionable. Maybe she has her bottom eyeliner tattooed on. And so that actually doesn't wipe off.
Her waterline?
I think she might have that tattooed on, so that's why everything else came off, but
you stick needles into your waterline, and
I want to.
And then
people
you
have
let me know.
People have had it done.
Waterline?
Yeah, because
eyeliner I have seen.
Our friend in Denver who did their like presentation on eye injuries. One of the people had that tattoo done, and they had to pull the needle out of their eye. Remember, they showed us the photo of the needle in the eye from when they were doing that tattoo.
They were tattooing their eye.
No, they were tattooing their eyeliner. They were tattooing the eyeliner on, and it went wrong. And so they had to. Remember, she was like, "If you're gonna do this, make sure you go to the best of the best." Anyway, doesn't matter. These are the things that I think that general audiences don't pick up on, right? I think that the majority of people who watch, and maybe it's men, maybe most women would pick up on that. But I think that a lot of people, when they watch media, don't pick up on like when I was watching Smash, right?
Yeah.
When Smash was coming out on NBC.
Yeah.
And granted, I've worked on the show a lot, but when it was coming out, I remember we would have watch parties, and we would drink every single time someone pulled a wig off and they didn't have a wig cap on. Because if you wear a lot of wigs, you know, like, that's not fucking, it's just not fucking possible that you would, like, pull your wig off and your hair would just flow out curled underneath, right? There's no world in which
like
that
it wasn't
exists.
even, like, pinned up?
No. In that show, they pull their wigs off all the time, and there's no pin curls. Yeah.
Incredible.
1,000%.
Incredible.
So there's stuff like that, like the Suki Islander moment, very funny to us. Most people would never notice, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
But, so I think that Suki ate. I loved her. I thought she was fantastic.
Her mom, also great.
Also great. Totally understand her perspective.
Yeah.
And her and Suki butting heads, but not in like
Toxic
over the top way where you're like, oh my god, this relationship.
Yeah.
It was healthy.
Yeah.
And kind of beautifully done. And so it's weird because like I think that around the Avatar 3, everyone's showing up and doing a great job. I liked the costumes a lot this episode. I liked a lot of the bending this episode. The Kyoshi stuff looked really good. The actress playing Kyoshi had the presence to pull it off.
For sure. That worked for me.
Only when we kind of zero in on our main three that I start to be like,
some of the
I want more from that.
Yeah, some of the interpersonal dialogue is clunky.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And that's what's really been, that's what's off-putting to me. I think if the dialogue felt smoother and a bit more mature, not in a way of like that the characters have to be older mature, but just in a way that feels not so much like fucking Disney Channel Hannah Montana.
Oh, I didn't think it was that bad.
Not that bad, but that direction of we're going to talk like this and it's going to kind of be, very Disney Channel. I don't know how else to describe it, but there are moments that feel like there are moments that feel like that, and then there are moments where Katara is watching her mother burn to a crisp. So it's those two things just aren't, meshing with me.
Also, nobody dies in the Fire Nation attack. And the Kyoshi warriors don't kill anybody.
True.
Which wouldn't stand out if they didn't show the genocide in episode 1. But because you have started your show with when people fight, people die.
Yes.
When you see fighting on screen, people die from it.
Yes.
When you then have these massive fights in episode 2 and nobody's hurt
there should be
at
bodies.
all.
There should be bodies.
Or at least burns. Like, nobody's injured. And so it's very strange to me to start with genocide.
Yeah.
And then in episode 2, have multiple people do combat.
Have it be so sanitized.
And there's not an injury.
Yeah.
When Grandma is like, there's nothing here that can't be rebuilt, she means that literally on both sides because there were no consequences for this fight.
Yeah, 100%. Like
Which
the
is
guys
fine
like
in an
retreat,
animated show where you
good.
don't, at the beginning of episode 1, watch genocide. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, it would be like if House of the Dragon started with episode 1, a dragon burns a village and everybody's dead.
Yeah.
And then in episode 2, a dragon burns a village and everybody's fine.
Nobody actually dies. Yeah.
It is the unintended consequence of trying to make your show more adult, but not actually making the rest of the show more adult.
Yep.
And I am curious to see how they're going to handle that moving forward because when Grandma's from episode 1, when Suki's mom, sorry, I don't know her name, because she's not in the animated show.
Yeah, I don't know if she was named.
When Suki's mom says that at the end of this episode, it was funny to me because I was like, no, but you established that this was the more mature Avatar. Why were there no consequences for people firebending? They're firebending. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how could you possibly have 30 on 30 combat and nobody got hurt? How is that possible? It isn't. Based on the rules that you established in episode 1 for what firebending combat looks like.
Yep.
So there being no consequences there, to me, you have now like squandered the tone that you set with the Airbender genocide.
Yeah.
And you have established poorly for your audience what the show is going to be.
Yeah.
Because that was more like the animated show, which I think is a strong choice.
Yeah.
But episode 1 told me we weren't doing that.
Yes.
And so that I think that there's a tension there. And so for the people that are saying the show is terrible, which I do not think it is, I think the show's good. I enjoy, or at least this episode was good. I thought this episode was very fun. I enjoyed watching it. It's a little bit toothless, but I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, sure.
But they made the decision to make it toothless.
Yep.
They removed Sokka being edgy and difficult.
Yep.
He's not difficult. He's so easy to be around. This version of Sokka is great.
Yeah.
He's just kind of a great dude.
Yeah.
Which makes him kind of bland, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure.
But he's being played very well, and it's tough. This show is tough because they should have just kept the violence level of the animated show and ramped it up later.
Yeah, if that's what they were like aiming for. But yeah, I do think that they've done themselves a disservice.
Because now I expect death.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh, the firebenders are murdering people. Oh, no, everyone's fine? The whole village.
Yeah.
Oh, well then the firebenders are incompetent. So what you're telling me is that the Avatar is being chased by incompetent people and I don't need to care.
Yeah.
I don't think
because
that's what
you know as soon as the village fights back, those firebenders would kill.
Yeah.
Like,
and
don't care.
I don't think that the Kyoshi warriors want the firebenders leaving the village alive.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're trained in non-lethal fan combat. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, on either side, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so...
I agree.
But I wouldn't be thinking that if episode 1 didn't have it in it. Because I'd be like, this is the tone of the show, this is what we do. But it's the flip-flop.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it is... I think that I'm starting to realize that while I like watching the show at a very, like, low-stakes level...
Yep.
I'm never going to be able to fully invest because they're trying to juggle too many balls.
Yeah.
And so the show plays at too many different levels for me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
For sure.
But I want to like it because I think that there's some stuff that's so good.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's just that there's some stuff that isn't.
Yeah.
And like the disparity between those two is honestly a little bit strange.
It is odd.
It feels like studio notes.
Yeah.
Like it feels like I wouldn't be surprised if they'd filmed stuff and then the genocide stuff at the beginning was tacked on later. I don't know that that's what happened, and that might have been the plan from the beginning, but it totally doesn't. It's not congealing, and
I wonder. That's interesting.
It's strange.
I'd be curious.
But everyone on screen is delivering.
Yeah.
Except maybe Katara, and I don't know that that's her fault because I don't know what they really gave her to do.
Yeah, in this episode, she didn't really have...
She literally, like...
much of anything.
Aang's like, man, I'm all alone. And she's like, oh, no, wait, this page says... And I was like, whoa, wow, I'm glad you found the exact page you needed to find immediately in your... like...
Yeah, that's what I mean
like, some
about,
of those scenes are just...
like, cheesy.
But then at the same time... No, but in that same vein, and I know that I said I like all the firebender stuff, but them being like, oh my god, Commander Zhao left with his ship, and then some fucking food merchant walking up and be like, yeah, Commander Zhao found this super secret information out.
That's what I mean about being cheesy.
But like, they're not even like, oh, let's chase his ship. The food vendor is like, they're going to Kyoshi Island. Yeah, that's a place that everybody knows about. Because...
In that moment in the animated show,
totally
I'm gonna nice. You
Very
know
funny.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's
no 100%.
There's something funky going on.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
But there is no war in Ba Sing Se. So I don't know. It's kind of the show is like it's a bit of both.
It's kind of shooting all over the place for me. I don't know how to feel.
It is trying to be more faithful to the animation that it is adapting than One Piece was, but it is less emotionally faithful to the reason why One Piece tells the story that it did, right? Like, I feel like what One Piece did so well on Netflix was really drastically change things, but keep the why so strong. And I think it's why that series really resonated with its audience so well.
Yeah.
This show feels like it is adapting moments that are in the animated show.
Yep.
But why those moments are there is not as important in the adaptation of this.
Yeah.
And so while those moments are working for me, I like that Suki and Sokka are being romantic with each other because it's from the show.
Yeah.
But the why they do that and how they find each other and what they have to overcome to find that relationship is gone. And so they just look at each other and are ready to fuck. Right? Yep. That is the extent of the work that they put into the relationship in this episode is they very briefly look at each other and go, whoa, wow.
Horny.
Sexual attraction.
Yeah. The other thing that stood out to me as being strange was, like, you could have had the moment with, oh, no, I'm going to forget her name. The Avatar.
Kyoshi.
Yeah. Yes, obviously. Because they're Kyoshi warriors. I was like, no, I'm wrong. I'm second
guessing myself. Kyoshi Island.
I know. So the moment where Kyoshi like flies away would have been so much more impactful if we hadn't seen Aang just like flying and fucking around, like kind of with like weird CGI in the last two episodes.
Look, okay. I'm not fully on the like Aang can fly so the show is bad train. Because
no,
I know that some people are using that. No, but some people particularly on TikTok are using that to say that the show is immediately bad because he flies. I'm not fully on that train because I do think in the opening shot that people are using to prove that he flies, he's just falling gracefully because he's an airbender. But sometimes he straight up takes off like Iron Man.
He did in this episode, yeah.
And I get that the firebenders did that, but I thought the firebenders were only capable of that because of Sozin's comet.
Yeah.
And like, I find Aang's takeoffs. Also,
it is a weird choice to make because I think it makes it makes him learning the 4 elements and having that power level seem that much more important. If we witness things that he cannot do, the fact that he can just take off and then she takes off in that same episode, her literally blasting off like fucking Team Rocket would have been so much cooler if Aang hadn't kind of done it not as good earlier.
And the moment in episode 1 that I think is actually more damning towards that than the like falling at the beginning on the air temple is when he starts yelling for Appa at the water tribe and he just takes off and is just floating around above them yelling for Appa.
Yeah.
But the one thing about the bending that I think is a little bit odd right now for just the style of it is that there's a lot of bending with very little motion. And like Commander Zhao there literally just went go, and that was enough to have a fireball ready to throw. And I just am I'm wishing they chose to have a little, like, even if it was just like boom boom, like just something a little bit more
dynamic,
because it is kind of stripping the uniqueness from the different in the animation, the 4 bending styles are all based on a different martial art, and so they visually look different.
Yeah.
But when you have them move, the less they move to bend their element, the less they look like they're based on different physical styles.
Yeah.
And the more it kind of homogenizes into, if I do this and I'm a firebender, I get fire. If I do this and I'm an earthbender, I get earth.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was kind of hoping that Katara would, from her, like, the kata that she was going to learn from the scroll, would give her some more dynamic physical movements. Because I think that she is a little... I feel like she's the one I'm most critical of, but she also just... Even in the way she moves, like the one time she ran to Aang after seeing the Fire Nation was a very strange shot.
It was so weird.
And so there's just like giving her some very specific physical motions. I think for her as an actress might help her open up into the role a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about the show because it's not awful, right? Like I think that I would be less interested in talking about it if it was just terrible.
Yeah.
Which some people are saying it's not. There's so much great stuff here.
So far. Other people are ahead because Netflix did the thing where they dropped it all at once and, like, you know, maybe, who knows. But I think right now in episode 2, it is not, like, hate-worthy.
It's not hate-worthy. The CGI doesn't look terrible. There are times when it does. Also, I will say, I think that Kyoshi Village was real because I didn't feel like I was in the volume the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
I did a little bit around the Kyoshi statue.
Yes.
The backgrounds were very volumey, but I didn't feel the volume in this episode as much as I did in episode 1.
Yeah, definitely.
So, like, for me, this was a massive improvement over episode 1.
Yeah.
A step in the right direction. I'm enjoying it. So, like, from right now, I'm kind of like, if it keeps going, and even if every episode after this just maintains this level of quality,
be like, okay, cool.
I'm gonna be happy with it. You know what I mean? It won't be
fun.
better than the animation, but I also don't know why they made this because the animation. I have an idea for Hollywood. Hey, take shows and movies that had mediocre first times out but great base ideas and adapt those.
Yeah.
And stop adapting the shit that is kind of already considered to be perfect.
Yeah.
Because the comparison game is so hard because it is so hard to make one thing good, but to try and make the same thing good again is like so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. And we'll see how well you did it as we move
Capturing
forward.
lightning in a bottle twice, that's rough.
Right now, overall, I'm happy.
Yeah. No, it's fun.
All right, if you like this video, like, subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave mean comments down below because the algorithm god, she's hungry. And we must feed her. This episode, that algorithm goddess isn't Suki because she already ate. It's Suki's mom.
Love that.
If you want to follow us on the internet, you can. I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
I'm at Claris Polaris.
Do something nerdy tonight.
Bye.
In all of our episodes, how have we never done that one before?
Yeah, I don't know. That was great.
Bye.
Bye.